Here we go. All right, everyone, welcome back to Breslov Efrat here at Shir David. I wish everyone a Chodesh Tov, Mavorach, and a good Chodesh wherever you are. And Baruch Hashem, we had a beautiful Neitz Minyan today. We had a beautiful Mussar, Baruch Hashem. And we heard Kriyas HaTorah.
Yes, we did.
Baruch Hashem. Wow. Baruch Hashem. Okay, and we're learning Likutey Halachos. We're going to continue with Siyata D'Shmaya, of course. Hilchos Kriyas HaTorah. Right, we're learning the laws of reading of the Torah. Right, the laws of reading in the Torah. We're in Halacha Daled, which is 4, and today we're up to letter Beis. Right, so, and this is all based on the lesson in Likutey Moran in the 4th lesson in the 2nd book of Likutey Moran. Okay, we spoke about that yesterday, and again we always learn for the well-being of the soldiers and the captives and the injured. Right, Hashem should show them all a lot of mercy and bring them all home. And bring shalom to the world. Ezrat Hashem. Okay. Now, so we're learning about the idea of we'll just jump into the lesson. V'zeh bechinas kriyas haTorah achar hatfila. Okay, so we know we're discussing this idea. Why was it established that we read the Torah after Shmona Esrei? Right? As we take it for granted, right? We know that's what we do. We always go to shul. That's the process, right? What?
You're used to it.
Yeah, but now we're trying to understand what is the purpose. We learned many ideas already on this, but we're going to develop it even further now. Because the tefillah is calling and it's revealing the Ratzon Hashem, right? Because when we daven, we ask Hashem for everything that we need, right? We ask Hashem that we need health, that we need parnasa. Right, we need our sustenance, and we want geula, we want redemption, and we want healing and everything else, right? And yes,
right?
Yeah, of course. Well, that's what Shema. That's Mekabel Ol Malchus Shemayim, right? But in Tefillah Shmona Esrei, you're asking Hashem for many different things, right? And that's the thing. So we're revealing that everything comes from Hashem, right? Right?
I was just thinking through my health, forgiveness.
Justice. All of the things that we need. Right. Okay. Keneged shalish hatfilos shehem bechina shalish regalim. That we said that we had the 3 tfilos, right? We start with Arvid, and we have Shachris and Mincha, right? Those are the order, right? And so that we have the 3 holidays. The 3 tfilos, 3 holidays. Mikrei Kodesh, Umegalan Esaratz, in the same way that on the holidays, we're all established. The holidays were all established because Hashem changed the Teva. It was Meshana the Teva. He changed Teva. He changed nature around in order to make the holidays. Right? When it came to Pesach, right? Yeah. Right. In other words, seas don't split. Right, and there are no frogs and there are no blood and water and all of that. Hashem changed the normal way of things, right? And that's so when we daven, we're doing the same thing. We're changing the normal way of nature, right? In other words, we're asking Hashem. The person is not well today, and he's asking Hashem to change nature and make him well, right? So that means you're changing nature. Nature means he's supposed to be sick. Wait a minute, no. I'm davening to Hashem because you could change it. That's the whole idea. So it's the same when we daven, we're actually doing the same thing as what the holidays are. That's why it's always called Mikra Kodesh. Right? We understand, right? We have that, okay? Keneged zeh yesh chayes rois. And we said that we have on the other side, we have the chayes rois, the wild animals. Literally translated, right? Chayes rois, wild animals. And these animals are making a lot of noise on the other side, and they're saying, no, it's all teva, it's all nature. The doctors can heal you, and the parnasa comes because I have a good financial advisor, right? Now I follow my financial advisor, right? People believe that, right? Right? They have good right?
Yeah, but the good financial advisor came from Hashem.
I understand. No, but the other side believes that it's all coming because they're part of a good firm, and if they have any legal problems, so they get a good lawyer, and the lawyer is going to defend them, right, and all of that stuff, right?
And they have good luck.
And they have good luck and all of that. Yeah. Yeah, there's actually for that there's the story I thought about just now. There was a story that the one time there was a meshulach that came from Eretz Yisrael to Borough Park. He came to Borough Park and he hired a driver to take him around to collect money. He was making a chasna for his daughter. He needed to raise money. He didn't have money. Okay, so he worked out with the driver that 5:30 in the morning the driver's going to pick him up, and the way the drivers normally do it is they take the guys around and they get a percentage of what they collect. That's the way they normally do it. That's how they make their panas. All right, so whatever they get, he gets $100. The driver gets $10, right, and so on and so on. Okay. Came 5:30, no driver. Came a quarter to 6, 6 o'clock, 6:15, no driver. So he goes to the base medrash. He figures, okay, no driver, what am I supposed to do? I go to the base medrash. He goes to the base medrash, and he sits down, and he starts saying some Tehillim. A man comes over to him and sees that he's an Erlich Yid, he's from Eretz Yisrael, right? And he's saying Tehillim with a lot of fervor, he's really putting his... So he says to him, here, he gives him $500. He gives him $500. Wow. Pretty good, right?
You didn't pay commission.
Wait a second. $500. And then he continues saying to him, the driver never shows up. Meanwhile, this guy that gave him the $500 had to go to court that day. He had a big court case against him. And this guy that had the court case hired a fancy firm that was going to represent him and so on. His lawyer didn't show up. He was really worried. The guy was really worried because it's disrespectful to go in front of the judge without a lawyer. I mean, this is very disrespectful, right? So, but what choice did he have? He had no lawyer. So the case comes in, and the judge asks him who. So he presents his defense. The judge looks at him, and the judge says, I believe what you're saying. Why? Because you didn't come with a lawyer. That's how truthful you really believe in what you're saying, and therefore I dismiss the case. Sure. Okay. He goes back home. The guy after the case, he goes back home. He goes back to the base medrash, and the guy's still sitting there saying Tehillim. Because the driver never showed up. So he hands the guy an envelope with $5,000. Why? Because that $5,000 he was going to give to his lawyer. That was the money he had prepared for the lawyer. He gave him $5,000, and he asked the guy, "Why are you here?" He asked, he was much more relaxed now, right? He got off the case and everything. So he says, "I'm here to make chasna for my daughter. I live in Bnei Brak, and he says, when is the chasna going to be?" So he tells him when the chasna is going to be. Fine, okay.
What's the chasna?
A wedding,
okay.
Chatuna. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, when the wedding is going to be, and the guy that morning in Bnei Brak, he gets a knock on the door, and there's an envelope with another $5,000 that the guy sent him. The guy was so amazed. He was so amazed that he thought that he was going to have his lawyer, and his lawyer would try to just get the thing postponed and something. And meanwhile, he gave his tzedakah. He believed in Hakadosh Baruch Hu, and he got resolved. And therefore, and the meshulach, he also he came to New York in order to collect money, and he got himself a driver. He did his ishtadlus, right? He did his part, right? He did what he was supposed to, right, to do his thing. And meanwhile, HaKadosh Baruch Hu worked the whole thing out for him. It's really always like that. But I'm just trying to give you a story. Just that in our lives, if you think back in all of your times and all the different things that happen, it's all the same thing. It's HaKadosh Baruch Hu behind everything. We give too much credence to nature and the ways of nature.
No such thing as luck.
No such thing. Well, there is such a thing as mazel. There is mazel. Yeah, there is such a thing as mazel. Yeah, people have mazel. Yeah, right? But it's from Hashem.
Right.
You can ask Hashem. That's why you wish someone a mazel tov, right? Well, mazel is not really luck. It's different. Mazel comes from the word nozel, right? It flows, right? That's where the word comes from, right? Because all of the bounty and all the bracha comes from Shemayim. It's flowing down from Shemayim. So when you wish somebody a mazel tov, you're turning on a tap, that the blessing can all flow down from Shemayim to that person. That's what it's so important to wish that mazel tov, right? All right. Anyway.
Let's call for the inspiring story.
Okay, Baruch Hashem. V'shehem bechinas hasholosh chayes rois hamuva batikunim. Okay, so now we're going to define what are these chayes rois. What are they? Right? We said these wild animals, right? So in the Tikkun Zoya they bring this down, and they say here shehem kitruga the sholosh tfilas, and they are the kitrug. They are the ones that are coming to counter. I guess that's a good word, right? To counter our tefillah, right? What are they? Shehem hakelev. There's a dog, all right, and he's against tefillah shachris, okay. And then we have the chamar. We have a donkey, right? The donkey is against tefillah mincha, and then we have this other guy called the nates, which is a hawk. I think a nates is a hawk, right?
That's what it says here.
Nets is a hawk.
Okay.
What? Yeah. Is it correct? Yeah, it's a hawk. Well, everyone agrees. Baruch Hashem.
Well, they agree with you here.
Oh, they agree. Okay, fine. And that's against Arvis. That's Arvid Tfilas Ma'ariv. Okay, so you have the dog that's trying to counter is a Chayir Ra. We're not talking about nice domesticated dogs in the house. Don't get worried anyone that has a pet. We're talking about wild dogs that are attacking, okay? And then we have donkeys that are, I don't know why the donkey is considered a wild, but okay. That's what they bite. There we go.
None of those animals are kosher.
Huh?
None of those animals are kosher.
Not kosher, of course. Shemisham nimshachim kol ha'machshava izorei shebetfilah. That's where all the strange foreign thoughts come to us during our tefillah, right? You ever daven, you're trying to daven, and then you start thinking about all kinds of things, right? Right? You start thinking about, I need to call this guy, or get this thing, or this guy. All this stuff comes in your mind when you're trying to daven. Ever happened to anyone here?
Only never.
Only what?
Only a lot.
Only a lot. So this is where it's coming from. We have these chayes rois that are that are working on. But again, these are spirit. These are not actual dogs. These are not actual donkeys, and these are not actual hawks. These are spiritual things. Okay, and they're coming they're coming into us, and they're coming into us to bother us. V'yadua moving b'divrei Rabbeinu Zal. And Rabbi Nachman spoke about this in lesson 62. She'ikir kol ha'machshava izor shebetfilah nimshachem mikfiras v'apikosos u'mepigam emuna shel kol echad echad. All right. So where does it really stem from? How do we allow into our minds this dog, this donkey, and this hawk? How do we allow it in when we have a problem with our emunah? Right, so when we have a problem in our emunah, we let our emunah slack, right? It lacks, right? We're lacking, so then they can eke their way in. You understand? That's the root of all machshavos rois during tefillah. So if you have machshavos rois during tefillah, right, or foreign thoughts during tefillah, not maybe bad thought, right? Anything, it's coming because you have to work on emunah. Right, and that's why we say, like Reuven said before, Mekabel ol malchus shemayim. So what do? You say you be Mekabel ol malchus shemayim before you start Shmon Esrei, right? And you take on the yoke of Hashem. You realize that's emunah, right? You strengthen your emunah before you say Shmon Esrei. Right? That's the order. That's the process, right? Okay, ki afilu anoshim hakesherim kitzas va'amoinam she'enam holchim. Right? Even the regular people, nice people, regular Jews, that are not following philosophy, they're not following the apikoros, and they're not following the derech hachakira. They're trying to understand the ways of Hashem. Why is this, and why is that, and all of that. Even regular people, nice people, are just trying to do the right thing. Rubam yesh lahem bilbulei emuna v'nizrak bahem kitzas apikorsus belibam. Right? We have how do you explain this one? Right? Everyone has their little flaws. Let's put it like that. Their little flaws in their emuna. Okay? Right? Everyone has some kind of flaw in their emuna where they don't. Well, I believe that Hashem is controlling, but I still have to do what I have to do. Right? It's not really you, Hashem. I have to do this. I'll get this done. Right?
And here they're saying it's
You do
caused
have
by
to do it, right?
Huh?
But you do have to make the hishtadlus.
Yeah, exactly. But realizing the hishtadlus comes from Hashem also. Where do you get the ability to be able to do what you're about to do now? That also came from Hashem. Right? A lot of people that are young people that are laid up in hospitals with all kind of problems. Right? A lot of them. There's a lot of them. Right? The hospitals are full of them. I'm amazed. Sometimes when I go on my meetings, I have to go see hospitals and I go do different things, and I'm always amazed. I always have a tefillah when I go in to the hospital before I go in. I always try to remember to say this: Hashem, I'm thanking you for allowing me to enter into this building here, for me to provide them services, and I don't need their services.
That's a good tefillah.
No, because again, that's really what it's all about. I really believe that. In other words, I always say to Hashem, if I'm supposed to spend time in a hospital, so let me be like this. I'll be giving them, working with them and doing whatever, helping them out, so they don't have to help me.
Can you be my shliach?
Yeah, okay. Nimshach shalahem al yedei chatas neurim. And that all comes about because of the mistakes we made when we were young, right? We all made our mistakes and growing up, right? Everyone has their stories, right? Everyone has their stories when they were growing up, and these things are, maybe you could say, the skeletons in the closet. Is that way you say that? No? Yossi?
Yeah, that's a good way to say it.
You have another way to describe it?
Yeah, I don't know if people have, when they didn't have as much knowledge and they were
Yeah.
and immature. But the point is that it stays with you, and it's ingrained.
No. It stays with you, but again, through his baidus, through speaking to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, you can work those things out, right? We should work those things out.
It seems like it actually takes a real effort to acknowledge the follies of your youth.
Yeah, it does.
And then go to the Creator and say, I guess into you and say, look, I got a lot working against me. I have the follies of my youth. I got all these dogs and hawks and jumping at me.
And donkeys and the donkeys. Don't forget the donkeys.
They're coming after me, and so I need your help to help eradicate.
Absolutely, that's exactly it. You turn to Hashem. Exactly, that's the whole point. Turn to Hashem. Hashem, look, I know I have all my shortcomings. I got that. I know that. But Hashem, look, in truth, you brought me to this. You let me. I was born to this family in this place, and I had these. This was my upbringing. I didn't choose that, right? Yeah. So really, you could turn it. Hakadosh Baruch Hu, look, I'm sorry. I did do these things, but again, what was I supposed to do? I'm sorry, Hashem. Right? That's what Hashem wants us to do.
Just the mere fact that you can correct a situation like that's a big thing.
Amazing.
So today you see, for instance, a guy, a politician, he's running for office, saying, "Oh, look, when he was 19 years old, he wrote this thing in his college yearbook or whatever. Terrible. How can we elect him?" The guy's 30 years later.
Yeah.
The guy, I forget who it was. One politician says, "Listen, I was young and stupid then. What do you want? Now, I'm mature.
Now I'm old and stupid. No.
No,
Older and less stupid. But you also turn it into a blessing.
You can.
Right?
We could. If you know, right? If you do tshuva, so you can turn the zidonius into zechuyos, right? We know that, right? Right, by doing tshuva. It's all about doing tshuva, right? When we come back to Hashem. Tshuva, Hashem made tshuva was kaidem habriya. Right? Hashem made tshuva before he created anything. right? This idea that we can come back. We have to remember that, right? That's very important. That's very, very important. All right, so we had these problems from our youth, okay? Mitzrichin is Gabris Godel.
Yeah.
The Yeshua v'rachamim gedolim.
You need a lot of help.
You need a lot of compassion from Hashem, and you need a lot of mercy, right? Ligoresh ulevaer hakfiras ubilbule emuna miliba. Right. So we need to straighten out all of that stuff that's in our hearts, right? Right, people believe they don't have to get up early, have to be in the office early, because if I'm in the office early, I'll be more successful. Right, I have to open up my store at this time, because if I don't, it's not going to be good. All of that stuff. That's all fear, right? Like, really, a guy should go daven and stay till the end of davening, especially listen to the Kriyas HaTorah, right? The whole thing, right? And then go. Realize it. Again, I'm not talking about a guy that gets up, and he goes to a 10 o'clock minyan. I mean, a guy that's doing his normal thing, right? I'm amazed by that. In New York, when I go back to New York now, they have Shachris Minyanim now starting at 10 o'clock. And they're packed. What's going on here? Their mama's packed.
Yeah, I lived like that for many years. Like in our north, like you have a steeple. And
The Stiebach and the
doesn't
Stiebach.
matter what time you come.
Yeah, they till
always
12:30. Till 12:30.
Till
They're davening.
Chatzot.
Yeah, till Chatzot. Yeah. They'll start before Chatzot. They'll make sure to start at least before Chatzot.
Exactly.
They're probably networking.
Huh?
Yeah, that's where I live. Yeah.
But they have them in the Meir Sharm also. Yeah. Kamavaya b'sichos of HaKadoshim Sh'Rabbeinu Zal, as Rabbi Nachman says in Sichos Haran, the Book of Wisdom. That's it translates in English, which is lesson 32 in the Book of Wisdom. V'chol zeh nimshach b'bechinas hasholosh chayes rois shehem kitruga the shleisha tefillos. Right, these three oppositions to our tefillah. Right, we have those three oppositions. Right, we said in the morning we have the dog. In the afternoon, we have the donkey. Right? We have a little zoo here, right? Like Noah, right? He had all his animals, right? And then we have the hawk in the evening, right? Kiheim kol hachayas rois sheim bechinas kfiris shel chachmei hateva, and they manifest themselves in the way in the world, right? These figures, right? They're not physical figures, but they manifest themselves in the way through the Chachmei HaTeva, through all the scientists, right? I guess and politicians and what have you, right? The woke guys and whoever those guys are, right? Professors. There we go. Reporters. There we go. They're all these. That's all these guys. That's all they are. That's how those are the dogs, the donkeys, and the hawks, right? Shoyagim bekoilam kineged kol akriya shel yantav, and they're going against. No, not Hashem. He didn't change anything. And right, Yossi, you even told me, right? They figured out that there's really, it wasn't Kriyas Yamsa, really a certain time the wind blows a certain way, right? And it wasn't the frogs, wasn't really blood. It gives a certain tinge, right? All of that, right? They come up with all of that stuff, right?
Once in a while.
What?
Yeah, it's possible. That's right.
But all those things that happen once in a while all happen within that short time period.
Just like the Mabul also. Like
The Mabul, yeah.
The people of the Migdal Bavel, right? So that's what they were saying.
Right.
So the Mabul only happens, once in every 16-something 100 years.
Yeah, so we'll worry about that. Right. Now we can make a war, we'll wage war with Hashem, right? Right, yeah. Yeah, shehu bechinas kol tefillah. That's the idea of the tefillah, which again, the tefillah is against all of that other stuff. So we have to daven louder than the noise of all of the reporters and all of the news and all of the scientists and all of that nonsense. Okay, b'shvil zeh koyrim b'toyrim achar tefillah. That's why we read the Torah after we daven, right? We read the Torah after we daven. Kidei lachnia l'shabe kol shagas hatzoyrim shehem kol achayes roy shehem chachmei hateva. So therefore, we the Torah, we proclaim Hashem's word in the Torah, right? Right? We read the Torah, and the Torah's words are against. They help us to fight against the noise, the opposition from the other side of our davening. When we daven, and the other side's making noise, trying to put out our davening, right? Sending all these cuckoo ideas in our minds, right? Right? All these different ideas come into our minds. So we have to realize if you have that, right? You have different times in tefillah when you're saying Slach lanu avinu ki chatanu. So think for a second, stop for a second. If you're having funny thoughts in your tefillah, Hashem, hey, I'm really sorry. Please forgive me, right? Please forgive me. I understand these thoughts are only coming because of my mistakes, and I didn't believe in you, right? So yes.
So what does Tehillim do?
Oh, Tehillim, it can break through anything.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Isn't that what you're
No, but-
supposed to do? Say Tehillim when things are bad?
No. We're not talking about things are bad. We're talking about here, you're trying to daven, and your thoughts are all mixed up. You're not focusing on, I'm talking to the Melech Malchei Amlochim. Right? That's what we're talking about. You're trying to daven, right? You're saying Shmon Esrei, right? So you're trying to focus, hey, I'm talking to Hashem. And meanwhile, I'm thinking about all these other things. Can I ask you a question? If you had to go to a meeting with a very important, you had a very important meeting with a CEO, a CFO, or a UFO, or whatever, or whatever, all these things, right? Right? You had a very important meeting. You're sitting in front of this person, right? You really need this meeting. Would you start thinking about all kind of things?
No.
Probably not, right? Probably not, right? You finally get a meeting, right? You try to be as focused as you possibly can. So you're davening to Hashem, right? You're saying Shema, you're davening to Hashem. You're talking to the King of all kings, the bosses of all bosses, right? That's Hashem, right? And then all these things come in our minds. We start thinking all these foreign things. Where does it come from? Oh, it's coming from those chayas rois, those dogs and donkeys and hawks and stuff. And they manifest themselves in the way of the reporters and everyone else. Okay? So we have to read the Torah, and the Torah proclaims that it's the truth. It's all you, Hashem. Right? All the words in the Torah are different names of Hashem. Right? So we're calling out to Hashem. Mikra Kodesh, we're calling out to Hashem. Ki ha-Torah hu b'chinas chachma di-kedusha. The Torah is holy wisdom. Right? There's chachmas ha-teva. Right, there's chachmas hateva. Right, there's the law. They have the wise people of nature. Right, and they understand things. Right, they develop things and science and technologies and all the different things. But you also have the chachma of kedusha. Right, the chachma of kedusha sheyesh la koyach lekashe kol haritzaynos l'shayrish haratza. And my idea is to take all my desires to connect them to the source of desire, of Hashem. In other words, I'm supposed to make my desires, align them with Hashem's will. Right? That's the Torah. The Torah teaches us how to live. Right? That's the darkei noyam. Right? Like we say when we put away the Torah, we say the Torah is a darkei noyam. Right? It's the way of it's sweet path. It's the way of life. It teaches us what the bechinas rava de ravin. Like we said, that's the highest place. That's Ratzon Sheberotzon, right? Rava the Ravin is that time on Shabbos that we Shalosh Shudas, right? That time right when Shabbos is leaving. Shesham Shayrish HaTorah Ki Misham Yotzis V'Nimshechas HaTorah Shenitna B'Shvuas Ayidei Moshe Rabbeinu V'Shalom Sheshayrish Nishmasei Hu Misham Rava the Ravin. Moshe Rabbeinu's neshama, the source of his neshama, came from this place of Rava the Ravin, this place of this dearness, endearment with him and HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Moshe Rabbeinu was so connected to Hashem. His neshama was a very, very lofty soul. Right? It's the Medrash says when he was born, the whole house filled up with light. Right? Moshe Rabbeinu was born with a bris. He was complete. Right? Moshe Rabbeinu was something unbelievable. Right? And therefore when Moshe Rabbeinu passed away, he passed away at that time on Shabbos, at the Rava, because that's where his neshama came from. Right? So he passed away at that place, and he returned his neshama back to that place. Right? Ki Moshe Rabbeinu hu klolius haTorah. Moshe Rabbeinu is all inclusive of the Torah. Hence we call it Torah's Moshe, right? Torah is called Torah's Moshe, right? He's all inclusive of the Torah. Sheshorsh of Bechinas Rav, and the Rav and the Shorish of the Torah is the Rav and the Ratzon. The deepest Ratzon of Hashem is found in the Torah. Right? We understand that, right? The Ratzon of Hashem. On Shavuos, same time, yeah. Shkoyach. Therefore, the Torah was given on Shavuos. The Torah was given on Shavuos. Why was the Torah given on Shavuos? Because Hashem appeared to be a Zakeh. He appeared to us, whatever that means. Again, I can't explain it, but somehow we
that's where we got that idea of like an old, beard and a white.
Whatever that image is, but because we say Hashem has no image.
Yeah, but
Right? No. I understand, but whatever, we had some perception. There was some perception. You can't say it was an actual image. We had some perception of a zaken. I don't know. I can't explain it, right? But you can't say that it was an actual figure, right? That's one of the 13 principles of faith that we have. That Hashem has no faith. No.
We have that
No, I understand. No, you have that because you saw that.
in Har Sinai.
No. You saw that on some movie or something or something. Right?
This is what he's talking about. It's
Right. No,
ingrained in me.
right. But that's what I'm trying to say to you. We had some kind of perception of it. Ellie, could you explain it? Do you have an idea of this, Ellie?
Moses looks like
It wasn't.
Charlton
We didn't
Heston.
actually see a zaken, an old man. So can you define it in another way, Ellie?
So,
God manifests himself in different ways. We say it on his mirrors. Right?
Yeah.
That he appears in our imagination. We have many, many different images.
Yeah.
Right? And things that we characterize. When you think of an old man, you don't simply think of a man with a beard. Right? You think of someone who age,
Malei Rachamim.
age,
He's full of compassion.
has certain characteristics, and those are the things we associate. But there's still imaginations, right? We still
Yeah.
are just doing
That's the
best
koyach
we can.
hadimyan that we have, right? They have the koyach hadimyan. Right.
I think Moshe is Charlton Heston because of the movie.
Oh,
I mean, that's
chas v'shalom, chas v'shalom.
That's what he saw. You
no,
know.
but that's
I
Yeah,
grew,
yeah.
I grew up with no Torah at all, and so all these people from the Torah are Michelangelo's creations in my mind. David.
Okay. No. But again, there was no. It's nothing physical.
Right.
Yeah.
You have to realize that there's nothing physical because that's apikoursis to say that it was something physical. Right? That's heresy. We can't say that. But again, whatever, we had some kind of perception of a zaken, whatever that means. Everyone perceived Hashem at that time as a zaken that was full of compassion. Ki zaken hu bechinas metzach harotzan. A zaken the kedusha, right? We talked about the other kind, right? A person when the person is growing to be that he makes every day. He has arichas yamim, right? He's filling his day, and he has always a newness in his day. That person, when he becomes older, he has more vigor, he has more rachamim, he has more. But if a person that is just wasting his life away, when he becomes old, he becomes very grouchy, right? He's a grumpy old, like they said, grumpy old man, right? He becomes grumpy and old because he realizes, what did I accomplish in my life? Nothing. Right? He sees this other tzaddik, right? This guy, look what he spent the same years, and look what he accomplished and what I accomplished. So he's very upset. Right? But a zaken, the kedusha is the metzach harotzim, right? That's okay. The bechinas Rav, the Rav and Shem Esgala, they bechinas zaken the kedusha, and it manifests its way in that way of the zaken the kedusha. That's why we perceived Hakadosh Baruch Hu in this way of the zaken on Shavuos. Right, when we received the Torah, to realize that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is full of rachamim. He made the world. It was Olam Chesed Yibana. Hashem made the world to do Chesed. But the problem is when we don't believe in HaKadosh Baruch Hu, we put those walls up, like we learned, right? We set up those walls and we block the Chesed. We block everything from Hashem. But when we turn back to Hashem, like we learned the Torah of Aye, right? right? Where you say Aye Mekayim Kivayde, wherever I am, from the Mayim Sasa, remember we learned that, right? Aye, when I call out to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, I can come very close to Hashem, no matter where because Hashem is there. When I realize that. The whole problem is we don't realize that we're with Hashem no matter where we go. Right? But that's why Shulchan Aruch starts, Shivisi Hashem L'negdi Summit. Remember, before you learn any halacha, remember, wherever you go, wherever you are, Hashem is with you. You're never alone. That's an incredible concept to really realize that. That no, I'm never alone. I'm always with Hashem. He's always with me.
I had a funny thing happen this morning. Right? So I was getting ready for shul and I was clumsy and I dropped the sefer. So my initial reaction was like, "Oi," and then I thought to myself, wait, so many times I didn't drop the sefer, and so many times, right? The reaction is, if we can think about when we fall flat on our face, all the times we don't fall flat on our face, it's obviously it doesn't come from me that I didn't fall flat.
Of course.
It was up to me. I fall flat on my face all the time.
That's right.
But all the times I don't, I see that God is holding my hand, mamish. So it's like every time you drop a book, it's just if that becomes
it wakes you up, right?
The connection.
Yeah.
So this is the.
Yeah, we have this proclivity to go towards you, clumsy fool. You do this all the time. Why can't you, just hold on to the safer, be a little more careful? But like that.
No, right.
Which we're really good at. Really good at. I'm clumsy. I'm a fool. I'm dropping them.
But remember that you can refix it. I can fix
But
it.
all the time, what are you talking about? That you haven't, which is most of the time.
Sometimes I take the lesson of mindfulness.
You have
from
to
that.
you have to believe that you can fix it.
Yeah, but you're such a quick
That's
to-
the Rebbe says that. Yeah, of course. Okay. Kamavai b'Torah now nimsa sheTorah shorsha bechinas rotzen sheberotzen. The Torah is the bechina of rotzen sheberotzen. Okay. Can we finish? Yeah, let's just read it. We'll finish it. We'll go finish. Okay. Therefore, we read the Torah after Tefillah because again we want that Rachmanis Kizeo bechinas masha kosav b'Torah shel hachnia kol hachayes rois hu yedei chacham the kedusha. You need the chacham the kedusha. You need the Rachmanis of Hashem. You need to turn back to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, right? That Hashem prepared to be the Zakin, the Kedusha, the Rav, and the Ravin, right? You need to turn back to Hashem, Shemakasha, Kol HaRetzayin, L'Shorish HaRatzon, to try to align your desires to the desires of Hashem, right? It shouldn't be, well, I want this, Hashem, but Hashem, you want something else. I should try to align my desires with what HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants. Instead of me being against Hashem, right? Try to align. I should be aligned with Hashem. L'rotzen shebertzonis v'zeh bechinas kriyas haTorah achatfila ki haTorah hu bechinas chacham the kedusha. Right? The Torah is chacham the kedusha. Shemekashe kol haretzonis lebechinas rotzen sheberotzen shemisham shayrish haTorah. That's the shorish of Torah. That's the whole source of Torah. To realize that it's all the chachma of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. It's all the will of HaKadosh Baruch Hu is in the Torah. It's unbelievable. And that's how the Avos and the Imos, that's how they were able to perceive the Torah and fulfill the Torah. Because they were so in tune with Hashem. They were so in close with Hashem, they were able to understand and perceive what Hashem's Ratzon is. Without it being written down. We don't have that connection. We need to look at it in the Sefer. We need to read it in the Torah. But they were so connected to the Ratzon Hashem. They were so connected to the Rav and the Ravin, the Ratzon Sheberotzen. They were so connected. So they understood it. I mean, you see it clearly, right? Avraham Avinu had matzah. He was making matzahs, right? There was no Yetzias Mitzrayim yet. But he made matzahs, right? Last week's parsha, Yaakov Avinu brought the shtei gedim. There were two goats that they prepared. His mother told him two. Why? One was the carbon Pesach, and the other one was to be the carbon Chagiga. Right? On Pesach, you had two carbon. We brought two animals. Right? We brought the carbon Chagiga, and you ate that as your meal. Right? And then the carbon Pesach was the afikam, which is the dessert. So isn't that amazing? Right? So you started out with a steak. And then you had your dessert with some ribs. Right? Right? That's why I'll tell you one beautiful thing that I saw last week is Mamish made. Esav comes to Yitzchak, After Yaakov just left, right? It was that revolving door, right? He walked out, he walked in, right? There was he walked out, he walked in, right? And Esav says, I prepared you these matamim. You like you want, eat. Yitzchak says, I can't eat. I can't eat. Yitzchak says, I can't eat. Why couldn't he eat? Why couldn't he just eat a little bit? Because he ate the Yaakov Avinu's afikomen, aim of tir and achar pesach afikomen.
Yeah.
Otherwise, why wouldn't he just? He could eat something. I'm not really hungry, but I'll eat something. But he couldn't eat anything. But this is how you see it. The Ratzim, all in the Torah. It's all the Ratzim. Hatev v'nishma kol hakriya shel hatfila shu bechinas yomtiv shekoyer megalas haratzin. The yomtiv is what really reveals the Ratzim of Hashem, how He changed everything. Nimtza shekriyas haTorah hu tikkun hatfila. The whole idea of Kriyas HaTorah is the tikkun for the tefillah, because it's the loud noise, it's the loudness that goes against all of the noise that's in our minds, that comes from those wild animals, right? The dog and the donkey and the hawk, right? And therefore, that's another reason why we read the Torah during our davening, right? We don't have a separate session. That we don't say, okay, we're going to come to the shul now, we're going to read the Torah. No, it's not. It's done in the tefillah, because it's there to reinforce and be mechazik our tefillah. Okay, therefore you don't read the Torah less than 3 psukim, right? 3 shalish regalim, right? 3 fathers, right? 3 tefillahs, right? All these things are 3 tefillah, 3 aliyahs, right?
So by
Utlasa gavra. Wait a second. Utlasa gavra. You have to call up 3 people, 3 aliyot, right? 3 aliyot, right? Kineged shalish tefillas, which are the same, which is against with the shalish tefillas, shalish regalim, umagalan es harotzen shetikunem al yedei haTorah shemakasheres kol haritzonos l'shorish harotzen. It binds all the ritzonos of our rotzen to realign them to HaKadosh Baruch Hu's rotzen. Unbelievable idea over here. Okay, let's just learn quickly. It's late. No. We'll talk after. Let's
I don't want to talk. I just want to make a statement
No,
about this.
we'll do it. We'll do it right after. We just have to do one thing in this Kitzur Shulchan Aruch now. Okay, here we go. Gimel. We're in Hilchos Tefillin, which is 10, and today we're up to 3. Okay, Ksiv. It says that the tefillin should be a sign on your arm, right? On your arm. But Parshas Vaya Kiviyacha, and then we have in our tefillin, right? Midiksiv Yodcha behei. The Yodcha ends with a hey. Dosher beisenu zalim minochais dainu yad keha. You put on your weaker arm, right? It goes on you the hey keha weaker arm. Vezu small shehi tosha v'keha, because the left arm is generally weaker. Now again, that's if a person's a righty, right? But if a person's a lefty, so it's the right side. It reverses, right? Okay, what? Okay. What?
It's a muscle thing?
Yeah, it's right now, right? Yossi, right now. And you put it where the muscle, right? Where the muscle on the arm, the top of the arm, right? We have the muscle where it get the flesh is higher, right? You have the right that it's higher, right? You're supposed to place it on your heart. On your heart. Shetehei sima kineged alev. So when you put the tefillin on your arm, you turn it a little bit. You don't have it pointing upward, you have it pointing inward. Right? So when you put your arm down, it's pointing towards your heart. It's opposite your heart. Okay, we understand that, right? What? Yeah. Makes sense? You got it? Okay. Turn it a little bit towards your body. You don't want it pointing upward. You want it pointing towards your body. When you put your arm down, it'll be next to your. Tefillin shall roish beinei necha. Okay, now it says in the parsha also, put the tefillin beinei necha, between your eyes. Right? We know there were some guys that did that literally. Right? They put it literally through their eyes. Kiblu Rabbi say Nuzal. The Chazal teach us, right? She'ein ze beinei necha mamish. You don't put it right between your eyes, right? Ella kineged beinenach. You put it on your head, which is opposite, which is also between your eyes. Umakayim mimakim shasaros maschilin litzmayach. So where's the hairline, right? That's, you put it from wherever your hairline is in the front of your head. That's where the tefillin is supposed to begin.
The original hairline.
The original, right, yeah, that's right. That's that's right. No, that's right. That's right. If a person's hair fell, he knows where his hairline was,
Yeah.
right, and that's where the person should place it. Right, so we have that spot on the baby, on the newborn baby. That's always that soft spot. Right, that soft spot. They always say, "Be careful with the baby's head." Right, it's that soft spot. So it's from the hairline to the soft spot, which is right about over here. Okay, dahainu shekitzei hatitoira shelemata loy tehei lemata mimakayim hascholas etzmochas zars. So the bottom of the tefillin is called the tatah. That's the bottom part of the tefillin, right? So that should not be. That okay. We whisper. That should not be. The library minion, right? Okay, that should not be protruding lower than the hairline. Okay, you could say hamabarta shelamala, and the mabarta is the tunnel. We learned about this in Hilchos Tefillin. That's where the ritzua goes through. That's called the mabarta. That's the tunnel that the ritzua go through. Loitei lamala mimokin shemoiche shaltina greifes. So in other words, the front of the tefillin should be by the hairline, and the back of the tefillin should be right where that part. It shouldn't be bigger than that. We're going to see in a minute. Make sure you put the tefillin in the right place. Why? If you put it on your head where hairs are not growing, even a little bit, or you put it on in the right place where the hair is, right? Not lower than the hairline, on the top of the head where the hair is. Ella shehi min hatzad v'loy kineged beinenayim. But now the tefillin is either to the right or to the left, but it's not now directly between the eyes. Lo yasa es hamitzvah varach levatala. How do you like that? So the person puts on his tefillin wrong. So that's why if you ever see somebody that the tefillin isn't right, always try to tell them in a nice way. Just point to them, and then the people will know, right? If sometimes the tefillin moves, right? So just point to the person, say he moves to put the tefillin back. If not, he's not wearing tefillin, right? V'hakesher yiyah munach kinegdai me'achorai haroish lemala b'gavoya ha'oref, right? So we have the nape of the neck, right? The back of the neck, right? Where the head, where it connects to the skull, right? Where it connects to. So who's Saif HaGulgolas? That's the end of the skull. Gulgolas is the skull, right? Yeah. Right. B'mokeim is Sawyer. Shehu kineged upon him. Oh, so now you put it in the back, which is kineged the face. So those from the back, it has to carry through to the face, right? It's on the back, but it has to be in the same line as the tefillin. So it can't be that you have the tefillin on the head, and then you have the what do you call it, the kesher in the back that's to the side. No, it has to be always in line bein einecha, right? It should be kineged the face, right? Don't move it from one side to the other, right? It has to be tight on the head. Right, it shouldn't be loose, so it'll constantly wobble around and it'll constantly move. You want to make sure it's nicely fitted. It's nicely fitted. But let's say you get these big tefillin. You ever see that sometimes? And again, I'm not saying, the Chabad, they have a minhag that they have bigger tefillin, and that's their minhag, and that's wonderful. But someone that doesn't follow Chabad should not wear those tefillin, right? Right, it should not wear those tefillin because they're too big and they'll exceed the hairline and the soft spot on the head.
It won't fit tightly on the head.
Or maybe they can make it fit tightly, but it's not in the right spot. It should be from the hairline to the soft spot, and it shouldn't go past that. It shouldn't be wider than that, and so on. Right? Kosher shedei mudekes karayu wouldn't be tight fitting, like you just said, right? That's what Shalom just said. Then be very careful when it comes to the tefillin, and realize if you don't put your tefillin on right, you're not wearing tefillin. Not only that, you made a blessing in vain. And that's not a very good thing to do. So now we're learning how to do the tefillin. If your tefillin aren't fitting right, then you can go to there's plenty of places you can go to. They'll adjust them for you. But to realize that it's important to make the adjustments and make sure that the tefillin is sitting properly bein einecha. Right? Bein einecha. To realize that. And then the tefillin shel yad, you put it on, but it doesn't point upward, it points inward on the top of the muscle. Not lower part of the muscle, the top of the muscle, higher up, because then when you put it down, it's keneged the lave, and that's the whole point, okay? Everyone should have a wonderful day. We share Besorah Tovat and Chodesh Tov Mavarach L'Kulam. Okay.